Hey everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And yesterday I released the news that the Ripple-led EVM, that's the Ethereum Virtual Machine, XRPL sidechain, would have validators paid in the digital asset XRP. I'm not surprised. It created quite a thread, including Ripple's CTO, David Schwartz, chiming in. Yassin Mubarak had asked, why, after all these years, aren't there more validators on the XRP ledger to help promote the health of a network? But David disagreed. He said that there's no correlation between growing nodes or validators and the health of a network, and he is open to the strategies to incentivize hubs. That is what Alloy Networks is running and will be phasing out, leaving just 2 hubs left. Those are critical parts of the infrastructure. This EVM sidechain gives a chance for the XRP ledger to compete against the 700 other EVM blockchains that are, well, where all the innovation is heading to. And it's a huge mistake that the XRP ledger is the only one in the top 10 that doesn't have the EVM layer, making it isolated. The Peersyst CEO, who is Farhan Prat, intends to bring more demand, more users, more developers, more investors, and more banks. Have a listen.
Hi everyone, I'm Farhan Prat. I'm the CEO of Peersyst Technology. I'm a computer scientist and I've been involved in the blockchain space since the last 8 to 9 years now. There is now around 700 EVMs. And I think the only one who doesn't have still the EVM sidechain on the top 10 market cap currencies, it's the XRP ledger. The XRP ledger, it's still layer 1, non-EVM, very focused on payments, which is for me the most important or the best use case on blockchain technology, but still doesn't have this EVM layer, which allows it to connect with the other chains. So this over the time is making XRP ledger being every time a little bit more isolated, every time a little bit more far of the status quo of the industry. And obviously, every time less developers will be joining XRP Ledger because the opportunities of building a business or building a solution XRP Ledger are much more limited than if you build it on EVM, where every time the public, the users, the developers, the market cap, everything it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Almost 90% or more of the talks, the papers, the research are focused on solving things and advancing EVM-focused blockchains. So with all these, people, so much people involved and using this technology, I think it's a huge mistake for XRPL to not have at least compatibility with this huge ecosystem. This doesn't mean XRPL needs to, let behind its focus on payments, because XRPL, it's on top of many other blockchains, almost in the top 4, top 5 list, just for being very good on doing payments and for making its own purpose and a specialty, right? But still, this doesn't mean it's not useful to have this part, this layer, where also it can connect and be in the status quo of the rest of the industry. So if there is new trends, they can also born and they can also grow on the XRP ledger. Or at the same time, maybe we can find cross applications where we can use the liquidity, the payment solutions, and all the benefits of the XRP ledger, mix it with other functionality that requires EVM compatibility, not only to be possible, but to be deployed faster, right? Its intention is mainly to bring many other builders, many other users, many other investors to the XRP ledger sphere, where basically we will have more demand for XRPs to execute the contracts. We will have more users involved in the ecosystem, which means they also will probably gain interest with the other things that are in the layer 1 or other things that can be use it in a cross-chain manner. Investors will have a look on projects, will have a look on many other things on the ecosystem. I think it's basically to grow the ecosystem and put us in the first line, the cutting edge line of the blockchain technology standards of 2024. So that's the main purpose of the EVM: attract new people, attract new developers, attract new investors, provide to all the XRP Ledger community the ability of testing or to using EVM contracts or cross-chain applications without the need of leaving the ecosystem, selling XRPs, going to other platforms. They can still retain and keep their operations on the same ledger. And I think also this will be very interesting, not only for the public chain, but also for all the private implementations that companies such as Ripple or Peersyst we are doing with banks, with multinationals, with governments, that sometimes requires interacting with other protocols. Some of them are EVM compatible, and this is very important for some of them to also have this layer of compatibility to make sure they are not isolated from the rest of the industry trends. So I think this will create a huge growth, a huge impact, and we are very convinced that it will be very beneficial for everyone to grow the XRP Ledger community rather than to substitute or to move away from the actual mission of the XRP Ledger community.
With 700 EVM blockchains against the XRP Ledger, it's basically impossible for the ledger to compete. Just the sheer number of downloads explains it. Farron wants to leverage the XRP liquidity, the huge community, and the payment infrastructure.
XRP Ledger has around 80,000 downloads per week. That's a lot. There's a lot of developers there, but all the EVMs are using the same libraries, which is ethers.js and web3.js. They are useful for almost any EVM. And these libraries has 1 million downloads per week. In the case of ethers and web3, it has 505,000 downloads per week. So they are like 1.5 million downloads per week there, which is a lot of job and work done that we cannot miss. We want to make these libraries available for the XRP Ledger, so all these downloads can potentially bring new software, new updates, and new applications to our environment, to our ecosystem, right? Because the XRP Ledger is one of the top chains, but it's isolated. Whether the other ones, all these tools, all these developments are compatible with all between them. So it's basically XRP Ledger against 700 blockchains. Then it's impossible to compete, or it's impossible to get very important innovations. It's very unlikely, I will say, that there is a huge innovation in the XRP Ledger if there is 700 chains that can happen there. What are the probabilities, right? So we want to be part of this probability set, and then deliver or leverage our own strengths, which is the liquidity, which is the huge community, which is the payment infrastructure, which is our layer one, which is very secure, and it's been running for more than 10 years. And that's something that almost no one can say. So all these things are very important. We have also a lot of institutional interest on the technology, and all these things can attract all these people, which only has the EVM part as a main attraction, to make all things together and be really the place where all these new things are happening and all these new projects are successing.
You can't argue against the sheer numbers. It's just that part of it is just so convincing.
Yeah, I mean, like as the old saying, if you cannot beat it, join it, right? There's no other way. I think it's great that if you join it, you have what they have, plus all the things you build. You have an advantage then.